Good morning. I'm going to do a short overview of what our Blackboard looks like and how you make it through the modules, because there seems to be some confusion about how you find things in our Blackboard course. I use a module setup, so everybody should be getting through the modules in the same way. Because it goes in a stepwise fashion. That makes it easier for you guys to learn, I think, than to click and go to different things in whatever order you want to. So, if you got my announcements for today, I have merged the two sections. I am not going to merge the top hat. Just because I use that to present in class, and sometimes I may need to, based on what y'all have shown me in our individual classes, I may need to present different stuff to different classes. Hopefully that won't be occurring after this week. Now, this week in class, I am going to be doing a traditional lecture tomorrow. It's going to start at 1 p.m. in my Section 2 class. Now, I want you to complete the Unit 1 stuff. It's very important that you do that so that you can participate in the lecture. While I say traditional lecture, for my traditional lecture, I still tend to ask a lot of questions and expect my students to participate. So you need to make sure that you complete all that Unit 1 stuff if you want to come to the class. Another point is, if you want to come to the class, you need to let me know ahead of time, because it's a very small classroom. So if I have a lot of students from Section 1 who want to come to Pathophys Section 2 tomorrow afternoon, then I need to get a larger classroom. I welcome you all. I just need to make sure I have the room. Okay, so that's one thing. That please let me know. Alright, so here's our Blackboard course, and I've changed I changed it to where it is a merged course, and you can see over here where it says it's a merged course. And that's over here. Okay, I know for Section 2 it used to be gold. But now we're using, I had to merge it into one of the other courses. I just merged it into Section 1. So that's where it's merged. Here are the announcements. I keep announcements. I used to keep announcements up all the time, but my Blackboard just got way too crowded. So now I tend to just keep the announcements up for a week or longer as needed. Okay, so here is the announcement where I posted when all the stuff was due. I had several students email me or even call me on a holiday weekend to ask me when things were due. Here it is. This right here tells you that I posted this one on January 13th at 2 o'clock in the morning. I was sitting at my mother's bedside. Okay. Here's another announcement that said the practice unit, please complete by January 14th. Now, maybe I shouldn't have said please try to. I expected you guys to complete it. Okay, so, and you can always see when I posted the announcements, because it says so right here. It'll tell you exactly when I posted the announcements. And it says by who. Okay, now, usually I don't think I have a teaching assistant in this class, and I don't have any other faculty teaching this class. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and enter, let me make sure that I am in the student view and not in the faculty view. Yes, I'm in student view, and I'm going to enter a, now, Unit 1 was fairly straightforward. It had part 1, one part. Now, over here, if you want, you can leave these, a table of contents up over here, and you can just click on the different activities. I mean, you can do that. I would rather you get rid of the table of contents, or put it down there at the bottom, and then go through the unit as it's presented. So here's the unit. It explains what the unit is about. This is mostly about terminology. And then you can just click through the different learning activities. And here is a link to a Khan Academy. It's not a video, it's just a page about where he explains homeostasis. Very good information. Okay, and then here's the next one. And this one I don't have the actual links to the Quizlets, but you have the account number and you can link into this. And these are all the terms and stuff that you need to know to be successful in pathophysiology. And then I did put a link in here to a video about homeostatic loops. It's a very good video. That's why I put it in there. Okay, so now let's look at the fluid and electrolyte unit. I also do something where if there's multiple parts to a unit, I try to put all the learning objectives into one document. And this is what that document looks like. Oh, for Pete's sake. It won't come over for some reason. But anyway, you can open up that document. Let me make this so it's not so big. Yeah. And now I can bring this document over. These are your learning objectives. The learning objectives are actually very easy because it tells you what you should be focusing on when you're trying to learn this stuff. So the review, what are the purposes of fluid in the body? I talked about that on that video. What are the fluid compartments? Talk all about that, okay? So those are the learning objectives for the whole unit, for the unit of fluid and electrolytes. Now, if you go to review of fluid balance and you click on that, here are those learning objectives again. And then you click here. And this is the Quizlet. I was very excited about this whole Quizlet thing. I can actually, if I fill out the Quizlets, I can make this so that you do a game or you get flashcards or whatever it is. You can do this, okay? So I thought that was pretty cool that I could actually embed that. And then the next thing is the readings, and here the Gould readings includes those ready references that are in the back of the book. And then a Khan Academy video about diffusion and osmosis, because so many of you guys don't remember that. And it's a very good review because this happens all the time in the body. It's one of the reasons I didn't go into great detail with it in my video. And then this is another video that I found, but I only want you to watch the first 15 minutes of it because it talks about that. But you can watch the rest of it because it's got good information in it and you will eventually need to know it. Okay, then I did a video about fluid balances. This is how I usually lecture in class. This one is actually pretty long for what I usually post on Blackboard, but it's got a lot of really good information, and I explain in detail some things that you need to know, especially hormonal control of fluid volume. And then the next thing that I tell you to do, if you go back to here, it tells you the learning module item should open in a new window. If not, then click the link below to follow. This is to go to your Top Hat Patho course and complete the review of fluid balance quiz. This is an assessment that you need to complete. It is due at the beginning of your class. So next week. If you are in a Monday class, this is due next Monday by 8:30. After that, I'm not going to accept them. Okay? Or Tuesday at 1 p.m. So that's how you make it through a module. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to ask me or ask 3. Remember, that's my big thing. Don't immediately send me an email to ask me unless it only pertains to you. Okay, if it's a general question about class or something, go ahead and put it on the bulletin board. Yes, there's only one bulletin board now, but go ahead and post your questions there. You'll see if you go to the bulletin board, I answer questions. I answered a question here, and I answered a question here. You know, so please, please, please make sure that you go to the bulletin board to ask your questions so that everybody can see the questions. Okay? Now, that is my short introduction and invitation to class. I'm also going to post an announcement about this in the announcements. You guys try to have a good rest of the holiday. I should be heading home back to my house soon to do so myself.